Patrick takes the snap, drops back, lobs it back right corner. Decker! He's got it! Touchdown! Eric Decker scores! And the Jets have won it in overtime!
This is the Jet Take with Ben Blessington and Kyle Fahey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of the Jet Take. I'm your host for tonight, Kyle Fahey. I know you're all disappointed at this point since you're not hearing Ben's voice, but hey, we're going to have some fun tonight. It's the second week of OTAs, not a lot to talk about. So, we're just going to be talking some Jets, and tonight I have my main boy from TOJ, Greg Armstrong, joining me, my 2K buddy, even though he beats me senselessly usually, but that's okay. Greg, what's going on, man?
Kyle, thanks for having me on. I didn't know finals were this important to people, but alas, Ben is not here with us.
No, the real reason Ben's gone, he's expecting his second child this week, so he's got to be in the hospital.
Congrats.
Yes, congrats to Ben. Round of applause for him.
Clap it up.
Clap it up for him. I think he said something about the kid being named Giuliani. I think I don't know. I don't think that's gonna. I don't know how that's
Can
gonna.
I take back the applause?
Yes, we can retract.
I take back the applause.
I really hope we don't have a lot of really strong right wingers who just found offense to that and just lost half of our downloads. Guys, don't be snowflakes.
It was
guys.
a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Just like our nation's
funny.
border security. All right, let's talk some Jets. Yeah, I love how this show just transitions from serious political matter to, of course, the always serious New York Jets. Greg, obviously not a lot going on. Probably the reason Ben abandoned this show this week. OTAs is about the only thing, but there are some headlines from OTAs because these beat writers, they got to push some sort of narrative, right? And what's the narrative this week? Quarterbacks. The most important thing on the team, the most important thing in the NFL. Specifically, Teddy Bridgewater, donning the glorious number 5. I was so happy to see him in number 5 because, he reversed the curse on that number because, one who cannot be named was wearing that. Yeah.
I was going to hang up if you said his name.
Thank you. That's exactly what I would expect you to do. Finally, somebody understands what's going on around here. You know what? Maybe it's good that Ben's gone. I'll give him an extended maternity leave because the Jet Take, the Jet Take Healthcare covers that. We cover his full salary for tonight. He does. I don't think he appreciates that. We're one of the only big corporations that do that. So, Teddy Bridgewater, impressing. Greg, talk on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to see that not only is his knee fine because his leg almost fell off.
Yeah.
But
the stanky leg on us. And,
yeah, that was. Whew. But it's really good to see. Yeah. Any more? You good?
Oh, okay. Sassiness. All right. I know my borders I can't cross now.
No, but it's really nice to see that they get him for next to nothing, and the better that he looks in OTAs, and as we get closer to training camp, the better that he looks in training camp. If this path stays on the course, the better compensation they're going to get for him. And worst comes to worst, if they don't get any compensation or they feel like he could be an actual asset to the team, you have a really good backup quarterback. And I know it's been stated a lot already, but if Bridgewater is even 85% of what he was before the injury, you have two of the best mentors that Sam Darnold could have. And that's a very good problem to have for a team that really hasn't had a franchise quarterback since Chad Pennington.
Yeah, Greg, I got to ask you a question real quick. Did you read my piece on the quarterbacks?
I did.
Oh.
You did a hell of a job.
Really? Tell me a little about it.
I don't remember. Let me pull it up. I'm good at reading.
I put you on the spot there.
No, yeah, it's fine. No, I did read it. I read things and I forget them very, very fast.
Okay, well, I was going to say, just a shameless promotion here.
I did read it. Trust. Everyone should read it.
Greg, it's okay. I'm going to be honest. I think I've read like 2 pieces on TOJ in the past month, and they were both by Connor. So, I mean, I'm not showing
favoritism. I'm going to delete my history so you don't get the clips.
Is that the only reason you're deleting your history?
The only reason I would be deleting my history.
Yeah, so not pulling an Eli Manning on us?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right. Or a Geno Smith for that even? Shout out to Geno Smith. He's got quite the jump on him. Anyway, as I was saying, in the piece that I wrote, I basically said that it's taken a while. It was. I think there was a thumbnail. It was like...
Must have missed that.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Brett Favre thing. You know, it was on a camera phone, so it's hard to see. The pixels aren't as, big, unlike Geno Smith.
We need training camp to get here.
We do. We really do. This is kind of sad. But anyway, as I'm saying, transition, hosting, Kyle, host. As I was saying, Bridgewater, he kind of fell into our laps. It's a glorious mistake by NFL GMs, and the Jets should either start him or trade him, because you can't just let a guy with that much talent, if he's healthy, that's the big if here. You can't let him sit on the bench, because he is our starter, if he's healthy, in my opinion. I think he's better than Josh McCown, because I don't think Josh McCown is going to, match what he did last year. That was his best career year, and he's older. I mean, just common sense here. It's nothing personal against Josh McCown. I don't think it's going to be a Ryan Fitzpatrick situation, but I just don't think he'll match the production. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a legitimate option as a franchise quarterback long term. And I know, obviously, we just drafted Sam Darnold, but, Teddy will bring us more wins this year. It's simple as that. And until Sam's ready, you have to get wins. There's no more tanking. I'm not rooting for tanking anymore. And, this may push some people aside, but it's Super Bowl or bust for the next at least 5 years. Well, Sam Darnold is on this team, because that was the goal. Get your franchise quarterback, then build for the Super Bowl. So now it's Super Bowl or bust every year for the Jets. There's really no more excuses. So I'm saying...
Well, I wouldn't say it's... you would think Super Bowl or bust this year?
Every year that you have a franchise quarterback, your guy, who you believe is your franchise quarterback, whether rookie or not, because we've seen it done in the NFL. Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, guys like that have been able to lead their teams, obviously not in their rookie years, but second years, I think both of them. Russell Wilson was in his second year, right?
Yeah.
To the promised land and to win. So every year now is Super Bowl or bust when you have your franchise quarterback. Now, obviously, I'm not saying the Jets' expectations for us as fans should be Super Bowl, but I think within the organization, now it's Super Bowl or bust. Last year, I can 100% tell you that people within the organization, whether it was Mike McCagnon or not, their expectations for that year were to build your young core and then find a quarterback. There was no goals as far as wins or anything. What came to us, came to us. This year, it should definitely be a certain win goal, and Super Bowl is the goal.
Right, and last year, as a fan, I went into it as, well, wins are always fun. Wins are always fun. Like, you never want to see your team go 1-15 or 2-14. Like, that's just not fun as a fan, and that wouldn't be a good product, A, moving forward, and B, in the present. So last year going into it was, all right, let's see how Adams and May do in their first year. Let's see how these young guys do. Let's see progression from guys like Darren Lee and Leonard Williams. Yep. And, yeah, they got the 6th pick, and they had to trade up for it because they won a couple more games than they should have. But now, going into this year, you get your franchise quarterback, and you saw production, tangible production from guys that are going to be the cornerstones of your franchise for this run with your franchise quarterback. And, yeah, like you said, now that the building blocks are in place, they only need a couple more pieces. They still need to find an edge. I would still like to see a better offensive line, but you have the infrastructure in place with a good young defense and your franchise guy. As for Bridgewater, yeah, if Darnold looks like he's struggling and Bridgewater is healthy, I think you have to start Bridgewater until Darnold sees that, or looks like he has the grasp of being an NFL quarterback. But, yeah, until then, I think you have to go Bridgewater with Darnold as your number 2 if he's healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think whether Josh McCown realized it or not when he signed it, I think he obviously had a good idea of what was going on. he is going to be clipboard Jesus this year. It looks like that, unless Teddy isn't healthy. If Teddy isn't healthy, Josh McCown should probably start the first 5 or 6 games until Sam can step in. But as we're both saying, if Teddy's healthy, he should start the majority of the year, or at least until we start losing. Because it's bound to happen eventually. Because I would still like to see what Teddy has there. Because, obviously I'm not going to be insane and say, oh, Sam Darnold's a trade piece. But 2 young quarterbacks are trade pieces. Somebody has to go, and I'd rather keep Sam Darnold. So let Teddy go out there, get the exposure, and, trade him from now, or before the trade deadline. Because I think that's how you regain capital we lost when getting Darnold.
Yeah, and you see, it's happened how many times where a guy goes down in the first couple of weeks of the season, and if Bridgewater has a good preseason and he has a good training camp, that's a very valuable chip to a team for a team that needs a quarterback and is going to have to pay, I wouldn't say a premium price, but a notch below, because if they're a good enough team and they're looking for a quarterback like that and they want to win now, Bridgewater is definitely that kind of guy that can yield results for you in that kind of situation. So the Jets are really it's really weird to say, but they're in a win-win situation with their quarterback room right now.
Yeah, as I was saying in my article, I think, here, let me find the exact wording for it. From the slums of Ryan Fitzpatrick, Geno Smith, Bryce Petty, and Christian Hackenberg to a surprisingly talented and deep depth chart of Josh McCown, Teddy Bridgewater, and Sam Darnold, it's been the transformation of a lifetime for Gang Green at the quarterback position. I think that was well worded. No bias there whatsoever about how that was worded.
No, that was really good. Are you in college? Or?
Yeah, I'm obviously a literature major at Oxford. Yeah, so I'm just traveling the globe. Did you know that I can only have a knife here in England? I'm very, very disturbed by that. So, I think a good example of what a Teddy trade would look like, or at least the closest thing I can find recently, would kind of be the Jacoby Brissett trade. Something that was kind of, in the middle of things. Things were starting to get solidified for, each team roster-wise, and things were starting to come together. Somebody needed a quarterback, in this case the Colts, so they traded for Jacoby Brissett, who is obviously a much lesser player than Teddy Bridgewater, and they got Philip Dorsett in return. Now, I think the Jets can get draft capital for Teddy Bridgewater, or maybe they want somebody else. If they want a player, they can do that too. I would say a 2nd to 3rd round is fair for Teddy right now. I think if he has a good preseason, I'm thinking a low 1st round pick would be fair for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, and all of it depends on the team, what their realistic goals are for that season.
Yep.
But those kind of factors are going to play into it. Would a 1st rounder be out of the question? I would say no.
No.
I wouldn't be like it's 1st rounder or bust. But yeah. I could see I could see a team having to spend a 2nd or a 3rd round pick on a quarterback when we're, like you said, when everything's getting solidified, the cuts are made and all that stuff goes down. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, we got one caller on the line. We're not expecting this to be a huge episode, so we're going to get to him. You guys know him by now. It's Michael Pallas. He delivers some really hot takes, and Ben isn't on to protect him tonight. So, Michael, you're treading in some hot water.
Why? Wait, hold on a second. I heard you were going to yell at me before the show, so
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I God forgive me, I agree that Terrell Pryor is the 4th best player on this team, talent-wise. And that Shut up, Greg. Most of
Wait. I want to hear. Wait, hold on. I want to hear his opinion on that.
Who do I think are the top 4 players, skill-wise? Is that what we're doing?
Well, it's top 4 players for this season.
I'm going to go in no particular order.
No, that's not how this works. It has to be in order.
Based on just individual talent right now? Or stats wise?
Just who do you think are going to be the top 5 players this year? In order.
Top 5. All right. 1, I'm going to go Robbie. I have this weird love for Robbie. I'm not going to waver from that.
Okay.
2, probably probably Tremaine Johnson. 3, I think, is going to be Leonard Williams. I think he's going to have a big year. 4, I'm going to give it to Quincy. And 5, I'm going to take Jamal.
See, I have Terrell over Robbie and Quincy because I think Terrell overall is the much better talent compared to both of them, and he just hasn't really had the opportunity and stepped into that 1 year in Cleveland to put it together.
I don't think he's going to get the snaps.
Oh, I think he will.
And think about and in Cleveland, in that 1,000 yard, 77 catch, 4 touchdown season, who were his quarterbacks?
Cody Kessler and Josh McCown.
You remember who? Well, one of them was McCown.
Wasn't Cody Kessler the other one?
And there was a third one.
Johnny Manziel?
Nope. Same draft.
Brandon Whedon?
Robert Griffin III.
The hell? What the hell is the same draft then?
He was picked in the first round the same year as RG3, wasn't he?
No.
Was it the year after?
No, I think Manziel was like a year or two after.
I thought it was the same. I thought it was the same draft as RG3.
No, the power 3 of that. No, Brandon Whedon was in RG3's draft actually. I think, right, Greg?
Yeah, because it wasn't it.
It
Luck,
was
RG3, Wilson.
Whedon. Yeah, and Whedon. They were like the top 4 quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, Robert Griffin III was the third quarterback to play for the Browns that year.
Okay, yeah, so the Jets obviously have a much better quarterback room, and I think Terrell, coming off that injury last year in Washington, didn't really get a fair chance, even though he had a much better quarterback than he had in Cleveland.
Well, yeah, and if he had played with Kirk Cousins last year, he probably would have performed.
Yes, that's what I said.
Kirk Cousins is better than any of the other better than the 3 Browns quarterbacks he got 1,000 yards with.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to change topics now because I've read in the comments that people do not like us saying Terrell Pryor is number 4, overall player on this team. So
I thought that would have been well received.
Greg, I will kick you off so fast. I will Thanos you in a heartbeat.
Oh, lovely! Right. Another reference I don't understand.
Oh no, I've started a fight.
Wait, Greg, you don't get that reference?
I know who the particular person is with the big hand and the jewels, but I've never seen a second of those movies. Is this where I leave now?
What? Greg. No. We're going to have a serious... Palace, your call is on mute right now for a second because I got to yell at Greg. All right, buddy?
This is where I leave, right?
Oh, no, you don't get off. No, you're getting a whooping first. Then you go to your room. All right? You've never seen a minute of any of those movies?
I think I've seen the first Iron Man.
Greg, I'm actually looking at the microphone right now with disgust.
I'm not a big movie guy.
What do you watch besides porn?
I thought this guy was muted. Not much. I watch documentaries and stuff, sports documentaries. I'm not a big movie. If it's over like an hour and a half, I don't have the attention span to sit and really watch it.
So you haven't listened to the episode of the Jet Take, is what you're saying?
We've had this conversation.
Wow. Yes, okay. All right, folks. So Greg is not an MCU fan, and I feel heartbroken. All right, we're going back to Michael Palace. Palace, we were talking about OTAs a little bit earlier. I don't even want to hear your quarterback tapes because I'm pretty sure you're going to catch hate for them. Let's talk about the defensive line because that's going to be one of our other topics for tonight. Just give me quickly what you think our base, 3-4 package is going to look like on the defensive line. Who do you think is going to win the starting job, at defensive tackle and defensive ends? Obviously, you're going to touch on Leo.
Well, defensive tackles, but because of the position, because of the line, because they play three techniques, so technically they're defensive tackles. But across the line, I think I've already told you who I think are going to be my three, but Leonard Williams, Mike Pennell, and Foley Fatukasi.
Repeat the names again? I'm making sure I heard that right.
Williams,
Okay.
because that's a duh.
All right.
Pennell is the nose tackle, and Foley Fatukasi.
Okay, no McClendon at nose tackle?
I think they're going to split the reps almost evenly, so it's just a matter of when McClendon gets in the game. But I think they're going to split the reps evenly at nose tackle, and they might even put Leonard Williams and Fatukasi at nose tackle at some point in different scenarios.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I completely.
Fatukasi can play three technique or nose.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys on the defensive line, an exception to McClendon, basically. Well, no, even he plays a little defensive end. They're all versatile, bottom line. I completely disagree, though. I think.
I just don't think. What's the name of the guy they drafted in the third round from Fort Hays?
Shepard?
Nathan Shepard?
Yeah, Shepard. He's too raw right now, and Fatukasi will be better against the run, so he'll start.
What about Henry Anderson?
I mean, because he went to Fort Hays State, we don't know what his ability is going to be at the NFL level.
No, Henry Anderson. What about him?
I think Fatukasi is going to beat Anderson out, but Anderson will be in the rotation.
Okay.
He will definitely make the team, but Fatukasi has a lot of athletic ability that he showed, especially against the competition in the American Athletic Conference, which is the top tier of the second tier in the conferences. It's the best. It's the sixth best conference in the country.
It's the San Antonio Spurs of the G League, basically.
What?
All right, you don't get that reference. Palace, we got a couple other callers on the line, and we're running a short show tonight. All right, so thanks for being on, man.
All right, bye.
All right. All right, that was Michael Palace. I'm sure you guys know him on Twitter now. You guys have probably fought with him in arguments and stuff. I think it's M Palace 1. I forgot to ask him. It's something like that. Just search Michael Palace. You'll find him on Twitter. He's actually a decent follow if you guys want to read some hot topics and stuff like that. So go give him a follow, and obviously a loyal caller to the show. So we thank him. Greg, before we go on to the next caller, I'm pretty sure I just dipped him around.
Yep.
What was your analysis of that call?
I mean, the defensive line was just like the cherry on the top because no McClendon, that's preposterous.
That's a hot take. That was a hot take.
I had to put my phone down.
Yeah. All right. Greg, I'll let you get your takes in on this when we do our defensive line breakdown to close the show. We have another caller tonight. I don't know who this is. Area code 917. What's your name? And they left the meeting. That is very unfortunate. The second we ring on, just to say, oh, I don't want to be here. Gone. Thanos. You don't get that reference. All right, Greg.
Go ahead. Keep making them.
Yeah, I'm going to keep making that reference. The movie's been out. The movie's been out for like a month and a half now. I feel like I can talk about the movie.
Yeah, I mean, no spoilers to me. I'm probably never going to see it.
Yeah. So when Captain America dies, basically, like when Thanos, when Thanos snaps his fingers and Captain America dies, everybody cries.
Is that the big thing that people are like sad about at the end?
Yes.
That's the ending that everyone's talking about?
Yes.
Okay. I'm caught up.
Yeah, you are. 10 years, 19 movies, just for that.
You had to do the dirty work for me. That's all it is.
Yeah, the quick and dirty. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the defensive line. We heard Palace's take on it. 917's take was brief. It was kind of like Brad Pitt's appearance in Deadpool.
It was good, though.
Yes, it was good.
A solid take.
Okay. It was defendable. That's what we take away from it. So let's talk about it.
More callers like that.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about it. What would your ideal base three for the defensive line look like for the Jets?
Start for week one, I'd probably put, obviously Leo, then McClendon, and then I would put Anderson at the other end position. I think it's gonna turn out that was probably outside of Darnold. Yeah, I think that's gonna turn out. It's not a hot take or not a really out there. It's been talked about at length so far, but I really think that's gonna develop. Maybe not this year, starting off, but I think it's going to end up being like, wow, they got this guy for a set. It's almost like when we got Brandon Marshall. Yeah. It was like, wow, they didn't give up a whole ton for this guy, and look at him now. In that particular season. But yeah, I'm really excited about this defensive line because we're past Sheldon. Mo's officially out of here. Leo's really the anchor on that defensive line now. I'm really excited to see this defensive line this year.
Yeah, and I think going into the draft, it was something fans ignored because obviously quarterback, offensive line, running back, tight end, cornerback to an extent were all big question marks, and obviously people know who Leonard Williams is, and I think a lot of the casual fans who just expect dominance from the Jets defensive line didn't really realize that defensive line was the biggest hole on our entire defense. And I think Maccagnan orchestrated, at least on paper, a very good defensive line, or at least the potential to be one. Henry Anderson was considered, a very good young defensive end who just kept getting bad break after bad break in Indy. And, when the scheme change happened there, they let a lot of good players go. Obviously, Henry Anderson ended up on the market. And then the defensive tackle, I'm forgetting his name right now, used to play for the Giants.
Yeah,
Jonathan Hankins.
I wanted the Jets to get him.
Yeah, they kind of just let players go because they didn't fit the scheme. So obviously we get Anderson, who can come in and immediately start as a defensive end. Leo can hold down the defensive tackle position well. He does it at an elite level, and he can also slide to defensive end if you need him to, depending on, whatever Bowles and Casey Rogers wants to do with him. The opposite defensive end position, I think it's probably going to be Leo, because I think that's where they'll use him there. And the defensive tackle, it's most likely going to be McClendon, and Pennell will probably get some snaps every now and then, but mostly McClendon, because he's great against the run, and Leo, obviously, probably the most gifted pass rusher on the team, at least on the defensive line. And then Anderson, hoping he puts it together an injury-free season, there's potential for that to be a really good defensive line. Because there are two guys who are definites so far. We have seen them on film at least 2 or 3 years now for both of them, with McClendon and Leo. Yeah. We know what we're getting from them. Anderson is a hope, and at worst, I think he's a nice Band-Aid.
Right, yeah. And the rookie that, this isn't going to be riveting stuff, but like Nathan Shepard, I'm really excited to see what this kid can do because we saw him we watched some of the tape.
Greg, you know what you sound like right now?
Fort Hays State, huh?
You sound like another call-in talk show. That's the type of thing.
Hey, Kyle, first time, long time. What do you think about trading a 6th-round pick for Aaron Rodgers? I'll take my answer off the air. Love the show.
Yeah, love the show. Let's see if I can do a Mike Francesa voice. All right.
No.
All right, hold on. No, I got to try this. This is from your Florida cracker, Kyle Fahey. Okay. Yeah, you guys know my last name. I was like, did I just reveal my whole name? I forgot you guys knew my last name. All right, let's try this. The Florida cracker does a Mike Francesa voice.
I'll rate it.
Okay. Damn, how does this guy sound? I don't see the correlation. I don't get it here. All right. Well, okay. So what's the point? The Giants. Come to the Giants. Yeah. Okay. I I don't get it. Okay? No, there's no correlation between the San Francisco Giants and the New York Giants. No. Okay, thanks for the call. Man, was that guy an idiot? Huh? How about that? You hearing this? All right, bring up next call, Greg.
Hey, Mike. First time, long time. Love the show. Glad to hear that you're back. We missed you for those couple of months. So yeah, what do you think about the Jets trading a 6th-round pick for Aaron Rodgers straight up? I'll take my answer off the air, Mike. Like I said, glad to have you back.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Greg. I think he's on acid. Somebody drop his call. Rodgers does want a contract soon, so I don't know what the Packers are willing to do. I don't. I've been gone for a while. I'm out of this game. I don't know what the market's looking like. My sources are telling me that they're willing to let him go. It's going to be a steep price, but they're willing to let him go. And that was talking Mike Francesa. How do you think I did? Greg is not invited back to co-host again.
It was good at some point.
I think I really hit on the sauces instead of sources.
Yeah, the sauces.
Yeah, because I'm an illiterate New Yorker. Yeah.
Okay, Kyle. Okay.
Yep. All right. I just definitely lost listeners. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 All right. Let's talk some Jets.
D-line talk. I don't know how the hell we did that, but behind the starters, obviously we have a crowded bunch, all very versatile, as I was saying. You brought up Shepard. There's still guys like Claude Pallone, Xavier Cooper, Deion Simon. I brought up Mike Pennell, and then I'm just gonna call him Foley because I'm being honest. I don't know how the fuck to say his name. All right, that's gonna take a while. I feel bad for the jersey makers. Like, I'm pretty sure only his mom is going to buy a jersey, but that jersey is definitely going to have to get returned because it's going to be messed up. But what do you think the rotation is going to look like? Who do you think is going to be, the tweener in there who's going to get the most snaps? And when I say tweener, I mean, like, switch between D-tackle and defensive end. And then who do you think is just going to fall in line?
I think it'll probably be Cooper or Pennell. I mean, I thought Cooper and Pennell played pretty well last year in lieu of having to, basically play for Muhammad Wilkerson, who was we don't have to talk about that. But I think those two are going to be two solid rotation pieces. We'll see how Shepard does against NFL competition. I know the preseason is going to be huge for him, even if it's against second and third string guys. But if he can show that he can hold his own against NFL caliber players, I think he's going to find himself a nice spot in this defensive line this year, and he's going to receive a lot of snaps. But those are really the only three that I can see getting a good amount of snaps this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pennell is one of those guys last year who was highly overlooked. And the point I made all of the last offseason when we picked him up was that guy was a starter on Green Bay a year ago. And then he had the PED suspension or something? Or what happened?
I think it was something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah, he was a starter for a playoff team. And, I'm not saying he's a great starter or even a good starter, but he was a starter. An NFL team trusted him to hold down the fort for the majority of the season. And if that's a depth player for my team, I'm okay with that. I feel like that's a good pickup.
Right, and like we said, this defensive line has a lot of depth this year. And it's a very good luxury to have for a team where we had the big-name players, just not the production. And I'd rather have a team like this with a lot of depth on the defensive line as opposed to big-name guys like Sheldon and Mo who just simply aren't putting up the production.
Yeah, and I want to make a point. I'm not exactly sure on the figures, but, give or take a guy or two in here. If I told you 3 years ago, all right, you can either have Sheldon Richardson and Damon Harrison, or you can have Sam Darnold and Tremaine Johnson. Which one are you picking? With today's knowledge, knowing who obviously Tremaine Johnson and Sam Darnold are, which one are you picking?
Okay. I'm taking Darnold and Johnson. I mean, defensive, we all got really excited about the defensive line, but how many playoff wins did that get us?
Exactly.
So, in any situation, I don't care who the guys are, you're always taking the cornerback and you're taking the quarterback because those are two premium positions in the NFL. And defensive line, I mean, you can have a great defensive line, but if you don't have the quarterback, if you don't have guys that can cover receivers, you're not going to get very far.
Yeah. And I would like to clarify, I know Damon Harrison, my point there was Damon Harrison's cap space and Tremaine Johnson correlating. Obviously, I know Tremaine Johnson makes probably like $8 million more than Damon Harrison, but you get the point how certain moves affect overall. Because that Sheldon Richardson trade, we had no idea what it would boil into. We thought we just got a second rounder and a good wide receiver for a guy we were going to let go anyway. Turns out we got a franchise quarterback and a good wide receiver out of it. For a player who was a problem in the locker room, who was a problem off the field, who was a problem in the paybook, in our wallets, in our pockets. He was a problem everywhere, and honestly, his production was good, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the pain in the back, and especially when the opposite side of it, the f of x in parentheses -1 of that would be Sam Darnold. I don't know if you got that reference, by the way. That was a little math reference for you. Find the inverse of the function. Yeah.
I haven't done math, and I couldn't even tell you.
Clearly. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. So, yeah. That was just stabbing you like Loki.
Yeah,
right there.
Well, it's something that, I thought about, not a good amount, but it's something to look back on of just like, you all right there?
Oh my God! I just saw the greatest headline of all time.
All right, well, don't sit on it. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be in the New York Post tomorrow. I don't think this can be real, but I don't even care if it's fake. It's the picture of Kim Kardashian and Trump in the Oval Office, and Kim Jong-un pitches prez on prison reform. Trump meets rump.
Give that guy a raise. Or woman.
Or woman. Good catch. Good catch, Armstrong. I can tell you go to college, Armstrong, because that was a great catch. Yeah. Oh, that's that flag football league paying off for you. You play receiver, right?
I play quarterback for our flag team. Not to brag, but
how many wins do you guys have last year?
Huh?
How many wins did you guys have last year?
Well, I went in.
No. It's a team game. How many wins did you guys have last year?
I think we had.
You think?
I think we went like 6-4, and we lost by like 6 in the game before the championship.
So you are the Kansas City Chiefs of your flag football league.
Our ex-quarterback was Alex Smith, yes. And I'm not saying that as just to go along with the Chiefs joke. Like, he was Alex Smith.
So are you Patrick Mahomes?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
With a lot more swagger.
Okay, final question. Would you like to work out for the New York Jets this offseason at some point?
100%. I would be willing to do so.
Okay, we'll give you a call. And that's how it deals in the NFL. That's how the CFL recruited Johnny Manziel.
I don't know. My line's open.
I'm sure it is. I mean, I see you retweeting those girls on Twitter. All right, last topic for tonight. Just a quick one.
Jesus.
The OTA standouts. Lucky Whitehead and Nathan Shepard. Those are the standouts throughout the, first 2 weeks. Obviously, we've talked about Shepard already, so talk about Whitehead, what you could see possibly, if he has a role, is he going to make it out of training camp? Because I can name 5 receivers right now that are much better than him, actually 6 or 7 that are much better than him, but, he's getting reps right now. So talk a little about it, Armstrong.
I think his best spot is going to be as just a return specialist or a special teams guy. Because one guy that I've seen, I wouldn't say light it up, but has had a really good OTA is Chad Hansen, who I'm very happy to see. Because getting him, the Ardarius Stewart experiment, I'm just ready to pull the plug on that now.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't get the snap.
This is the last time you will ever be on the Jet Take.
I mean, like, if you're not going to use him, why keep him? That's my thing. It's not that I don't think that he's talented. I just think, using him on end arounds and just tricky plays like that, like, okay, cool. But, like, I want to see him as an actual receiver. But Chad Hansen, I think he's going to find his way into this wide receiver rotation this season. Because last year at the end of the season, didn't get a lot of stats, but there was a good amount of plays where he was open and the ball just didn't come to him. And I like his route running. I'm going to say it.
You know who else has that problem?
Gritty guy, huh?
Rick Pitino.
Boom. Here we go.
Oh, I forgot you know that reference.
I do know that.
Nobody asked you about it.
Yeah, we'll cut that part out.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
I think the biggest takeaway from this is that we need football. Like,
yes,
we're in a serious withdrawal right now.
Yeah, and I know the second I bring up in the TOJ group chat, hey, the Jet Take's going to take like an 8-week, hiatus until things start kicking off again. I know Scott's going to be like, production, content. And then Joe's going to be like, he's right, guys, we need content. And I'm going to be like, well, this isn't going to be good.
Let's do it. I'll come back on. I'll do 8 weeks.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't think, I'm going to be honest, I'm not inviting you back on. You not only dissed the MCU, you dissed Ardarius Stewart, and you didn't compliment any of my takes so far.
That was a good take.
All right, we're going to leave it off there. Last soundbite.
Hold on a second. No, I didn't diss Ardarius Stewart. I was just saying, if the team's going to continue to use him in the way that they use him, why even have him? I think it's more of a team issue than it is a player issue.
I think it's more of a coordinator issue than it is a player issue.
Yeah, I misspoke. I apologize.
See, now you're just sucking my dick to try and get on again.
Are you allowed to swear on the show?
We don't put the explicit warning on it on iTunes, and we're pretty sure we're going to get demonetized for it one day, but I don't care.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Keep the train rolling. I don't want to screw up the mojo. I mean, who am I to come on to the best Jet calling show on the internet and slander you guys? So you just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad that's where we're going to leave off. I think that's a good bookmark. Anything else you want to say?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, keep checking out all the podcasts on the site. We have like I said, I'm not good at math. 1 billion podcasts now on
No,
TOJ.
that's accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah. Keep checking out all the writing. I mean, I know it's going to be slow for the next however many weeks, but we have a bomb squad of talent on our staff right now.
We do. Oh, I forgot to say, the TOJ boys are incredibly sexy. Like, I thought it was just me, Ben, and Connor, as the good-looking... Oh, son of a... I just said the wrong thing to the TOJ group chat. Oh, man.
Go on.
And then I saw your, hype video for the... Man, I need to cover my ass on this one. Oh, I might have to release that screenshot of what I just accidentally sent to the TOJ group chat for you guys to get this. I mean, we've lost all listeners by now, but...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, when I saw your promo for the Memorial Day 20% off, which I'm sure everybody took advantage of on TOJ.com.
They should have.
Yes.
So loyalist.com/turn-on-the-Jets, yes, they should have.
Yeah. When I saw you out there, shirt off, Miller Lite in your hand, looked like a nice little river somewhere, maybe a lake.
Yep.
I don't know.
It was a lake, yep.
It looked nice. Armstrong's a good-looking man. I didn't know that. Like, I figured he was just, the typical, like 5'8", could probably be in better shape guy in college. No, he's probably a little more than 5'8".
I'm 6'1", but that could have been in better shape guy in college, yes.
Yeah, but I think between you, Connor, me, and Ben, TOJ's got some hitters. I mean,
not only do we have the best content, but we have the best looking people on the internet. So.
Oh, it's not even close. If we're being honest,
not even close.
Scott and DA bring us down a little bit, just a little bit. And if Joe, I think Joe shaved his head for the academy, so I can't really judge him yet. But obviously, Big Boss Joe, he's a good looking man, but he's got a kid on the way, so that's -5 points. Just for that.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
You're ruthless.
Yeah, I am. I'm ruthless. Same goes with DA. DA is -5 because he. Okay, that's both public, right? I know DA is.
I'm pretty sure both of them are public.
Okay. All right. That would have been very bad for me if Joe wasn't public.
That was. You would have had to rip my audio and delete me from this podcast if that was.
Yeah, it would have just been bad luck. But yeah, TOJ's got some hitters. We got some killers in the mirror, and we got some, bombers on paper. And you don't get paper cuts from reading us.
And on the mics too.
Yes.
Your ears don't bleed. I
mean, me and DA are like, we could cipher all day for TOJ if we had to.
Ooh. It's the season of diss tracks. Maybe TOJ puts out a diss track.
I'll actually talk to DA about that because I'm in album mode as is. So. All right. I think that's where we're gonna end it. Armstrong, what's your social media?
At Greg Armstrong _ on Twitter. I just changed my profile picture to go along with the...
I did. That's what brought up the whole sexy thing. So.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I'm a volume tweeter. Let's just go with that. All right.
With that, we're going to leave you with the best chant in the NFL until, I guess, next week when Ben's back from maternity leave. Go Jets. To clarify, Ben isn't actually on maternity leave because I know he'll kill me if I don't throw this in there. But,
Congrats, Ben.
Yeah, congrats, Ben. All right. Love you. Bye.